So we have starting with chemistry musings. Okay, the question that we have is in thermodynamics, so sometime we'll continue with thermodynamics, whole of April and May thermodynamics. Then we will have new questions on solid state, which I'm starting today. So the question is, for a given reaction, for a given reaction, following data is given. Following data is given. Okay. You have C2H6. C2H6 is ethane with 3.5 moles of oxygen gas forming 2 CO2 plus 3 H2O gas. Gas, huh? Now what happens is, now here what else is given is delta S vaporization of H2O liquid, okay, is equal to x1 calories, correct? Boiling point is T1, okay. Delta H formation, see normally now I'll tell you, normally what happens is in any hydrocarbon reaction, it is clear, ethane is a gas, oxygen is a gas, carbon dioxide, this is liquid. But in our given equation, this is given as 3H2O gas, remember that. So this is a slight change. This is how the question becomes a little difficult. It is clear. So now what else have they given? Delta H formation of H2O liquid, okay, is equal to x2. Then delta H formation of carbon dioxide is x3, some value they have given, and delta H formation of C2H6 is x4. So we have to solve this. What is the correct answer? See, try to understand what happens. In this case, basically delta H of the reaction will be summation of enthalpy of product minus summation of enthalpy of reactant. Only thing is, now here what happens, so this will be enthalpy of product क्या रहेगा इधर देखो, so 3 into delta H formation of H2 liquid plus 2 into delta H formation of carbon dioxide gas minus enthalpy एक ही रहेगा, enthalpy of C2H6. See, if you remember, I told you delta H formation for any compound is its enthalpy. So I can write this as H. This is also enthalpy of carbon dioxide. So enthalpy of any compound, the heat content of any compound is its heat of formation. So now we have got this much, listen carefully. So this becomes 3 into enthalpy of water is what? 3 into x2 plus 2 into carbon dioxide kitna? x3 minus this was what? For ethane bhi diya hoga na, ethane how much was it? For ethane it is x4. So you think this is the answer, but understand one thing, that enthalpy of product mein this was in liquid, but we are talking about enthalpy of gas for which they have given this value. So we have one more equation, that is delta S vaporization, enthalpy of, so we have, how do we get delta H? See, what is delta S? Look how they are calculating. Delta S is delta S vaporization is delta H vaporization upon T. So we have to add this, the delta H vaporization also to this. So cross multiply, so we get delta H vaporization is equal to delta S into T. So how they have combined enthalpy and entropy, remember that. So for this part 3 into x2, we also have to add what? Either on this side plus. So this will be 3 times delta S kitna diya? X1. 3 times x1 into T1, the boiling point, plus 3 times x2 plus 2 times x3 minus x4. So this is the total enthalpy change. So this is how. So here what has happened is, in the normal 12th standard question, this was liquid. Okay. So simply we use this formula, enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant, where we said that enthalpy of what do you call a element is taken as 0. It is taken as 0. Okay. But then in the given equation, they have given what? This as gas. So they have given this not as liquid, they have given this as gas. So therefore that enthalpy of vaporization has to be added. How do we add the enthalpy of vaporization? They have given delta S. Delta S, the entropy changes, enthalpy change at that given temperature, cross multiply, so we get this. See how they have connected enthalpy and entropy. A very interesting question. That is why I introduced this. So this is how normal 12th standard question can be twisted to make it tough. Okay. I give you 2 minutes, because if you are probably taking down this, take down. Okay. Anyway, I'll record this and put it. You can even copy down when you're seeing the recorded version. Okay. So ye ho gaya. So when we are talking of solid state, let us start with this definition. What is matter? So when we are talking of matter, matter is anything which occupies space, that is volume, and has mass. So these are the two criteria. So this leads to the next point, that is states of matter. So when you're talking of states of matter, what happens is there are basically 3 states of matter. What are 3 states of matter we have? It is solid, liquid, and gas. So what happens in a solid state is, the smallest particle, that can be an atom, ion, or molecule, the smallest the smallest particle is held by strong forces. And they can be in an ordered state. They are held by very strong forces, where only what happens, if they are held by strong forces, if they have to move, so how will they move? They just vibrate along the axis. So what happens? Particles just vibrate. Particle vibrates along the axis. Okay, along the axis. Whereas what happens when you heat a solid? Okay, they start vibrating faster. And when they start vibrating faster, at one point of time, the energy possessed is so much, it's able to overcome the intermolecular force, and a change of state takes place. What we have is, in a liquid state, molecules are held by forces. Molecules are held by van der Waals force, intermolecular force. Let us be very clear. Intermolecular force. But The particles are able to move, but particles are moving. Okay. Then if you heat it further, what happens? It becomes a gas. In a gas, what happens is molecules do not have great force of attraction. Molecules do not have great force of attraction. Great force or a strong force of attraction, whichever way we say. Maybe in the textbook there is a strong force of attraction. Wherever we can use our own language, we'll use, except definition. Definition is as per textbook. Then what happens? Molecules move in random motion. They are moving, but I have not said they are moving in random motion. So here, molecules move in random motion. Molecules move in random motion. So we are going to concentrate our whole topic, this chapter on solid state. Gaseous state I have taught in 11th standard. It is clear. There is not much to discuss on liquid state, only is the fact that liquids have a definite volume, solids have a definite volume, gas has the volume of what? The container in which it is present. It is clear. Solids do not exert pressure on the sides of container, liquid also do not exert much, but gas exerts pressure. So what is pressure of a gas? Last year I taught you that the number of particles of gas hitting against the surface of the container will be pressure of the gas. So that was discussed in great detail in what you call in gaseous state in the 11th standard. This is clear. So now we come to types of solid. Okay. So when we are talking of types of solid, basically this itself is a 12th standard question which they can ask as, oh, we have the foot ruler over here. In a normal lecture this would not matter, but in a what you call live lecture through it matters a lot. It looks shabby. So when you talk of types of solid, basically they are classified into two types. One is a crystalline solid. So this will be a 2-mark question. Is this clear? Differentiate between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Is this clear? So crystalline solid and we have amorphous solid. Crystalline solid and amorphous solid. So let us look at the textbook and explain each and every point, because okay. So what can I say about crystalline solid? The first and foremost point is, in a crystalline solid, so what is that? Also becomes a definition. So define crystalline solid, bolega, that's the first point over here. They have a regular geometrical arrangement. They have a regular geometrical arrangement They have a regular geometrical arrangement of atoms, ions, or molecules, whatever is the smallest particle, atoms, ions, or molecules. So obviously what happens in an amorphous solid? In an amorphous solid, what happens? They do not have a regular geometrical arrangement of atoms, ions or molecules. Atoms नहीं होता generally, it's molecules. Atoms, ions or molecules. समझिएगा कैसा? How will we come to know that they do not have a regular geometrical arrangement and they have one of that is we can look at melting point. When we talk of melting point, what happens is crystalline solids have a sharp, so the second point is they have a sharp melting point. They have a sharp melting point. So look at copper. I always remember copper because you know, very easy to remember. 1420 1420 degree centigrade. Okay, perfect. At 1420 copper will melt. It will turn from solid to liquid. It has a sharp melting point. Whereas what happens, what can we say about amorphous solid? They have a melting range. If you have any problem in the communication, please give me a ring. Huh? Okay, just call me. अगर कुछ problem है तो we have changed the mic. I have ordered one more mic today, but it's not going to come because Amazon का it's a non-essential service में है. But after lockdown, in another 15 days, we'll get one more mic spare में. So they have a melting range. Okay. Then the third point is solids. Which one? Especially those which are ionic. Means they have a cation and anion. They show anisotropy. They show anisotropy. Now what is anisotropy? Of course they don't show, वो पहला लिख देता हूँ. So amorphous solid do not show anisotropy. Do not show anisotropy. See, what happens is in an ionic solid, you have got anion generally is larger, cation is smaller. Anion is larger, cation is smaller. Anion is larger. So this is anion, this is cation. ऐसा. So anion, cation, anion. फिर इधर cation, anion, cation, anion, cation, anion, cation, anion, cation, anion. So this will be anion, cation, anion, cation, anion, cation, anion, cation. And then this will be ISA. So now what happens is, okay, let me fill this up. नहीं तो क्या हो जाएगा? See, now what happens is, see, normally I'll tell you, I have started with physical chemistry. I'm going to complete a big chunk of physical chemistry. So when we look at a crystalline ionic compound, crystalline. So what happens is certain physical properties like refractive index, certain physical property like Ri, refractive index, it changes with what you call change in direction. It changes with direction. Same substance but changes with direction. So what is basically refractive index? Don't tell me sin I upon sin R. Refractive index का correct definition क्या है? It is the ratio of velocity of light in a rarer medium to that of the denser medium. So now in one angle what happens is, you can see over here, if this is the angle we are talking, so cation and an ऐसा आता है. And suppose we have another angle like this. Here, I mean actually if you look at the crystalline structure, it should be only, here we can have, na? Either suppose cation कर दिया. So here you can see in this direction, it is only hitting the cations, and in this direction is only hitting the anions, and in some other direction it is hitting the cation and anion. So the ratio of velocity in the rarer medium, that will remain the same, but the velocity will change according to what it is hitting, na? Velocity, whether hitting only the cation, only the anion, or cation, anion, both. So the denominator changes, so refractive index will change. So this property, so what is anisotropy? Anisotropy is defined as the property, it is defined as the property of a substance in which what happens? In which the physical property changes with change in direction. So this is true of what? This is true of what do you call? Only crystalline ionic substance. Crystalline ionic substance. Then what happens? The fourth point. It has, or they have, crystalline solids, they have a fixed enthalpy of fusion. They have a fixed enthalpy of fusion. Delta H fusion. They have a fixed enthalpy of fusion. That means what we call as latent heat of fusion अपन बोलते हैं ना, that is for 1 gram. For 1 mole it will be enthalpy. I always told that enthalpy word means you are talking about 1 mole. Is this clear? So it will have a fixed, like for example enthalpy of fusion of water plus 6 kilojoule per mole. By heart याद रखने का, plus 6 kilojoule per mole. Is this clear? Whereas they do not have a fixed enthalpy of fusion. They do not have, fourth, they do not have fixed enthalpy of fusion. They do not have fixed enthalpy of fusion. Is this clear? Then there is one more property. So fifth is they are true solids. Whereas these are called as pseudo solids. In fact, example is glass. We always say glass. What is glass? अगर पूछेगा, we say glass is super cooled liquid. But then we don't take it as liquid because we always go by the physical state. It is solid. But what is glass? It is super cooled liquid. Is this point clear? Then we have two more definitions that we have to study. That is, where is the space? We don't have space. So we'll have to rub this off and then continue. We'll talk about isomorphous behavior of crystalline solid and polymorphous or allotropy. And then we can go into classification of solid. So what is, there are two definitions that we have studied for crystalline solid. So we are still on crystalline solid. So definition of crystalline solid is already discussed. They have a regular geometrical arrangement of atoms, ions or molecules. What is the regular geometrical arrangement is the study in this chapter. ये तो future में आएगा. So there are two properties. One is isomorphous. So ये एक definition है. So what are isomorphous substances? What are isomorphous substances? Isomorphous substances are containing constituent atom in the two different substances. Two different substances containing what? Constituent atom. Constituent atoms in the same ratio. in the same atomic ratio. In the same atomic ratio. Example we can talk about is what? So this is a MCQ on its own. NaF and MgO. So sodium and fluorine are in the atomic ratio of 1:1. This is also in the ratio of 1:1. So for those who are writing NEET, you must remember this point. Who's writing NEET in this? So what happens is that they ask which is, they'll give four A, B, C, D, A distractors and say which is an isomorphous substance. That's the kind of question. And sometimes if it is MHCT, na, believe me, they take exactly the example from textbook. So we'll give 2-3 examples. We have, let us take NaNO3 and CaCO3. NaNO3 and CaCO3. So in the ratio of 1:1:3, 1:1:3. So they are isomorphous substance. But what is the other one? What is polymorphous substance? We have polymorphous substance. When we talk of polymorphous substance, this is also what you have studied in your earlier class as allotropy. This as allotropy. What do you mean by allotropy or polymorphous substance? Same substance, that is very important. A single substance, okay, that crystallizes into single substance that crystallizes into two or more different forms. Two or more different forms under different conditions. Under different condition. Under different conditions. Is this point clear? So, for example, carbon. Best example. ज़्यादा सोचने का ही नहीं है. Carbon has how many amorphous form? We have crystalline. Forms are crystalline form में क्या रहेगा? Graphite. Then we have diamond. And you have fullerene. We studied this fullerene in the chapter carbon. There is group 14 in your 11th standard. We'll again be discussing this in the course of this chapter also. What is fullerene? So this is about what? This is about two more definitions or three definitions: crystalline substance, isomorphous and polymorphous. Is this clear? Then what are we coming to? We are coming to classification of crystalline solid. So let us start with that. So this will start today and continue to the next lecture also. So we have either thoda niche classification of, we'll try to complete this classification, because if I complete this, because there are a lot of questions which they ask on this. If I finish this today, then next time we are starting with unit cell, three-dimensional units and all that. So classification of crystalline substance. So we have first will be over here. So we need all the space that we want. First is molecular solid. I'll first write the heading and then discuss each. We have a molecular solid. Then after molecular solid, we have I'll edit this in the recorded version, don't worry. So ionic solid. Then after, so molecular solid, ionic solid, then we have metallic solid, and lastly we have covalent solid. So this is the broad classification. This is the broad classification. We start first with our whole concentration today will be on molecular solid. Because each is a question. कैसा पूछेगा? Write a short note of molecular solid का हर एक example. इसके फिर एक give reason भी आता है. तो molecular solids में क्या क्या रहेगा? First, so molecular solid is further divided into. So I am only concentrating at the moment on molecular solid. They are further classified into polar, molecular solid. Then we have non-polar molecular solid. Then we have non-polar molecular solid. Then we have hydrogen bonded molecular solid. We have hydrogen bonded molecular solid. See, what happens is, let's first talk about polar molecular solid. So here what happens is, the molecule, like for example HCl, because of the electronegativity difference in HCl, what happens is that chlorine becomes delta negative, H becomes delta positive. So what do we say? What kind of, what do you call, molecule is this? This is a polar covalent molecule. This is a polar covalent molecule. It's not just a ordinary molecule, ordinary covalent molecule. It's a covalent molecule. This covalent bond is what? It is sharing of electrons between two atoms. It's clear. But a sharing because of electronegativity creates slight polarity, and therefore what is going to happen? We'll find that yeah. Now when you take HCl, normal physical state of HCl is a gas. You can increase the pressure and reduce the temperature and liquefy, and then what happens is, what do you call, you can solidify it. So when you now solidify HCl, so this will be one HCl molecule, this will be another HCl molecule, this will be another HCl molecule. How are they going to be held together? This is delta negative and this is delta positive. So there is going to be a electrostatic force of attraction between the opposite charge of two different molecules. This will be dipole-dipole interaction. So molecule is polar, molecule has a polarity, and when you solidify it, they are held together by attractive forces. That's a dipole-dipole interaction. Is this point clear? Whereas in a non-polar molecule, let us take methane. Why is methane non-polar? Methane is non-polar because when I look at the structure of methane, ये सब 11th का है. Methane is tetrahedral, regular geometrical arrangement. Sum total dipole moment is 0. Sum total dipole moment is 0. So any molecule in which the dipole moment is 0, we say it is a non-polar molecule. Methane, hydrogen, these are all non-polar molecules. So when you solidify methane, so this is one CH4 molecule, this is another CH4 molecule, this is another CH4 molecule. So this is methane solid का हालत है. So what is the force of attraction that holds them? So you have to say In a non-polar molecular, it is van der Waals force of attraction. It is van der Waals force van der Waals force of attraction. It is van der Waals force of attraction. The third case is water, ice. See, what happens in case of ice is, we know that water, H, O, H. We know that HOH is a polar molecule. Why? Because this is delta positive, this is delta negative, and this is delta positive. So in ice, how is the crystal structure there? What happens is that I think I have a blue pen which works. Okay. See, you have one water molecule. You have another water molecule over here, H, O, H. You have another water molecule, H, O, H. So what is happening is, this oxygen is covalently bonded to two hydrogen, but it is also hydrogen bonded. So it is tetrahedrally shaped. It's tetrahedrally shaped. And what happens is that two bonds are covalent and these are hydrogen bonding. And this becomes tetrahedral. The shape of each of this thing will be, so you have H, one minute, I'll show the tetrahedral structure. So we have okay. So this is hydrogen covalently bonded, and this will be what? See, international convention for hydrogen bonding is, it's only 3 dashed lines. 1, 2, 3. This is H. 1, 2, 3, this is H. So in in ice, what happens? In ice, water molecule is arranged what? That oxygen, two bonds are covalent with hydrogen and two bonds are, what do you call? Two bonds are hydrogen bonded with another hydrogen of another water molecule. So फिर इधर क्या हो जाएगा वापस, इधर देखो, ये हाइड्रोजन, ये उसका कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड और ये उसका दूसरा कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड, ऐसा करके देयर इज अ कंप्लीट रेगुलर अरेंजमेंट, बट इन बिटवीन देयर विल बी लॉट ऑफ स्पेसेस. सपोज ऐसा किया, सो ये ऑक्सीजन का हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड भी रहेगा, ये हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, बराबर. सो इन बिटवीन देयर इज स्पेस, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ एम्प्टी स्पेस. Because there is a lot of empty space between those tetrahedral molecules, the density of ice is less than that of water. So give scientific reason. तो क्वेश्चन कैसे इसमें पूछ सकता है, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट CBSE स्टूडेंट्स, तुम लोग को पूछता ही है. सो दे विल आस्क अ क्वेश्चन, गिव साइंटिफिक रीजन, GSR लिखो शॉर्टकट में, आई विल स्पेस देम. गिव साइंटिफिक रीजन water is more dense, liquid water, when I say water I am talking about liquid water. So liquid water is more dense than ice, or they can ask, ice floats on water, give scientific reason. So only 2 points you have to say. Ice, in ice, the structure formed, which structure? The tetrahedral structure. The structure formed leaves a lot of empty space, which is according to the textbook nearly 50%. Okay. So for melting of ice, what we have to do? We have to increase the temperature. So second point is that answers the question. As temperature increases, what are you going to do? The hydrogen bonds break. The hydrogen bonds break and liquid water molecule occupies the space, occupies the empty space, and that is why what happens, the density increases. Because what is density? Mass per unit volume. So in the same volume, if empty space is more, mass is less. If those empty spaces are filled by water molecule, mass is going to increase, so density is going to increase. Is this point clear? So this was about what? Molecular solids. Divided into what? Polar molecular solid. Here they will be held by dipole-dipole interaction. Here they will be held by the solid. If you solidify methane or any non-polar substance, why do you say they are non-polar? Dipole moment is 0. Then they are held by van der Waals forces. Then we have hydrogen bonded molecular solid, that I rubbed it off to explain this. So now after molecular solid, so write a note on molecular solid रहेगा, तो ये 3 खाली heading देने का, but write a note on first one, polar molecular solid, तो पूरा description देना पड़ेगा, non polar पूरा description, hydrogen bond पूरा description देना पड़ेगा. So this, when I teach you now, because when I looked at your paper, I realized I have to even teach you how to write the paper, what are the points to be covered. See what happens, sometimes we take it for granted. Now that I am correcting your paper, I understand that you are, where you can go wrong. So definition as per textbook. Is this clear? Because even if you miss one word, the meaning changes. Now we come to ionic solid. So when you talk of ionic solid, what happens? All salts are crystalline solid. All salts are crystalline solid. And what happens? They possess both. They have a cation and anion. So the electrostatic force of attraction, between the oppositely charged ions the electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions, this is what holds the molecule. This is what holds the molecule. Okay, this is the ionic bond. Now, as we say, what are the factors on which this is dependent on? Factors affecting this. 3 factors. A, first of all, size of cation and size of anion. Size of cation and size of anion. You'll say, sir, what does it mean? How does it make a difference? Yes. See, we have, suppose if the cation and anion are of the same size, then what happens is the kind of arrangement will be very, very close because both have the same size. But if the cation is large and the anion is small, then there is a possibility that there will be more vacant spaces. Then this solid may not be what you call very, very strong. It will be very brittle. You can break it very easily. This is clear. So when I come to body-centered cubic lattice and face-centered cubic lattice, you will understand the difference. how the size of cation and anion leave void spaces and how the cation occupies the void space and they occupy the crystal lattice. So that is where the point is. B, charge. Charge of the ion. See, it's very simple. You look at this. I'll give you an example. Chalo. That makes things easy. Let's take sodium metal problem ho jayega because it's a ionic metallic solid. Charge of the ion. So if you have an ionic compound where the charge is more, then the electrostatic force of attraction will be more. Like for example, this can change the property. Look at NaCl. Now here I can explain. So Na plus Cl minus. Look at aluminium sulfate Al2 SO4 whole thrice. It's a charge. So what happens, because the charge is less over here, the bond is not that strong, but not very strong as compared to this. This easily dissolves in water. Whereas aluminium sulfate does not easily dissolve in water. Aluminium sulfate does not easily dissolve in water. It's clear. It's crystalline, but sparingly soluble. So this is when what is freely soluble and what is sparingly soluble also is dependent on the charge. So this is going to affect the property of the ionic solid. Then lastly, what do we have? What is the factor which affects? Lastly, we have the ease with which the anion can be polarized. Very classic example. This is in fact an entrance exam question. See, look at aluminium fluoride, AlF3, and look at aluminium chloride. Now let us take aluminium bromide or aluminium chloride, aluminium bromide. You know, among the aluminium halides, the question they ask is which is soluble in water. Shockingly, aluminium fluoride is soluble in water. So this is a neat question which they get, entrance exam question. Which is soluble? AlF3, AlCl, Ali3. Whereas aluminium chloride is covalent in character. Ionic, it's a crystalline compound, but covalent nature is more. Why is the covalent nature more? Because see, aluminium plus 3 hai. As the charge increases, the size decreases. And then chloride भी बड़ा है. तो क्या कर रहा है? This aluminium का जो protons है, they are easily pulling the electron of chloride ion. So apart from the electrostatic force, this is plus and this is minus. Apart from, नीचे लिखता हूँ. This is plus and this is minus. Apart from the electrostatic force, what happens? The protons present in the smaller cation is able to pull the electrons of the outermost shell of the larger anion, and this is called as polarizability. So smaller cation, larger anion. Either क्या था, cation is same. Smaller cation, larger anion, the polarizability high. So ये क्या था, smaller cation and smaller anion, polarizability is less. So covalency does not come in. So it is soluble, this is not soluble. So this is how there is a difference in property. And ये property का question ऐसा पूछते हैं वो लोग, which is soluble in water. So aluminium fluoride is, so this will be a neat question, JEE question. Topic ये है ionic solid, but your question ऐसा पूछेगा. I hope you have understood what I have taught today.